Hi guys, can you hear me? I know I had a different, I had like a different, yes, this is my first live, yes. Can you tell? I actually was planning on doing this from my computer and now, I don't know what happened because I didn't have the software or something, so I'm here. Hi. This is a sort of like trial to see what's this about. I had been curious actually about about how to do this. I was like, how does people do this? I was like, um, I noticed some people do it with their voice only, and there are others that record themselves. So I was like, how do I do myself? Because like, I wasn't sure. But oh well, I'm here. Yes. Oh yes, Cosmos. But well, I'm always here. I try to be very consistent about the readings. I actually am loving reading for these people. Um, I think I talked about this. I became an army, actually, like a BTS fan around 2018, and um, and then I really, I love the music content. I didn't know anything about K-pop before. Um, but I used to work for a company that did promotions with BTS, with Puma, the retail, and I was familiar with who they were, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. When I was a teenager a few years ago, like 20 years ago, the Backstreet Boys were actually really popular, so I was a fan. I have it in me. I'm a fan girl, but never to this level of content and a lot of things that they do that is amazing. And then I started, doing reading for them. I knew that it was a bit tricky doing readings for BTS because everyone else was doing it. I noticed that there's a lot of people like doing BTS content related things, and I was like, I didn't want to restrict myself only to BTS, because of their popularity. And also about reading for them, I was like, I do not tend to read often for the same person or idol. So I was like, how do I do this without being invasive, without like reading the same thing over and over? And you know that I'm not really good at lying. Like, it's not about lying. It's just that I'm not good at exaggerating things. So if I don't see any juicy, quote unquote, juicy things, I do not say it because I do not see it. So I was like, how do I differentiate myself from the rest? And so I actually, yes, there was actually a fan that wrote to me. She was like, how do I know? Hi, how are you? Hola. Thank you for joining. I'm going to light, I don't know how you call this in English. Uh, People call it saging, but this is like a stick. like a sage stick that I always do for my readings and for the whole room. Um, I have my cards with me that I'm also going to sage. Um, I don't know why the comments keep disappearing. Like I want to read what you. I want to see. I personally like it. Oh, thank you. Yes, there's something about astrology that actually is really amazing. I actually learned a lot about myself by starting to read astrology. I actually started learning astrology without even like knowing what it was about. I went when I was 14 years old to a bookstore and I bought an astrology. I believe it was Linda Goodman's astrology book. And I started doing the interpretations. I started like learning the planets, the correspondence of the planets. And I always try to be yes, yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Hola, I agree with you. I think that Cosmos. Sometimes I just don't want to add to the tea, because I'm like, we're supposed to be like concentrated in their well-being, in that they are able to be normal functional human beings so they can create great content and music and entertain us. But to try to investigate beyond, I find it a bit like I don't know if it's ethical, and this is something that when I read the tarot for other people, I try to say the same thing, in the sense that they often ask me for, what does this person feel about me? How are they? I know they are this and this and this, and I'm like, can we focus the tarot reading on you? Because you are the one that I'm reading for. So can we focus on you? And if I focus my perception on you, yes, I can see other people, involved, but I cannot interfere into other person's uh, energy to be like, oh yes, they think this about you. Yes, they were talking this about you. They feel this way when they see you. They feel this way. I'm like, you know, there's something about me that I don't know if it's a gift. I wouldn't say that it's a gift, but um, sometimes I'm like, sometimes what I see often comes true, or sometimes things that I perceived, I was able to be like, oh, this came true. And it's a bit shocking because I do not do them expecting to have someone come to me and be like, oh yes, you totally nailed it. But you know there's also a sense of being responsible, and this is also about being a great communicator, because you can I can deliver a tarot reading, but I'm not responsible for your life and your decisions. You have to take responsibility. This is sometimes what happens when with people that want tarot readings. Sometimes they're looking for an answer, a guidance, and that's very valid, but I cannot take the responsibility of, oh yes, the tarot reader said this to me, so my life is going to go this way. And actually it's like, I'm just a person, like um, I'm just the messenger, and I can be wrong. Sometimes this is why I don't understand why people are so. I have come across for different tarot readings that were really dramatic, and were very negative. And I was like, how do you get those from the tarot? Because at least for me, the meaning is vast. The meaning, you can interpret it the way you want to. But why you have to be so dark? Why you have to be so... Because I had people in my tarot reading experience that actually came to me because they felt comfortable enough to ask for a tarot reading, because they had experiences where they had been predicted, quote unquote predicted, very awful things, like car accidents, like someone dying, like, oh, you're going to, I don't know, have trouble in your house, or a loved one is going to suffer. And you're like, why would you communicate that? Like, I don't want people to be afraid of the tarot and afraid of the message, because actually the tarot are just like cards, and I think that sometimes what you communicate talks more about who you are as a reader than actually the cards, because the cards do not predict those things. Thank you, Angela. Gracias. And when I started reading for K-pop, and there's something I'm really grateful about the K-pop community, is that I met amazing people from different fandoms of groups that I didn't hear about. It's not that I didn't know who they were. It's just that I didn't have took the time to listen to their music, check out their content. And after I did it, I was like, wow, I'm definitely um like I need to expand my knowledge of K-pop. Um yeah, yeah. I think that you know, I always say this. If I say something romantic, because we all have our bias, you can drop your biases name right now if you want to. We can talk about, let's talk about biases. That biases makes thinking about our biases makes us feel very good inside, very happy, very uh, joyful. But sometimes I'm like, maybe your bias is not the boyfriend material that you think he is. Maybe your bias is not that Prince Charming that you think it is. That yes, he can be good at singing, rapping, dancing, acting, everything all together, but we ourselves cannot even consider ourselves a material, or a perfect state in something. And we have, as regular people, I assume we have plenty of time and more privacy than actually these people. That these people have a lot of restrictions when it comes to being emotionally successful, and being able to be like appreciated for who they are and for how they feel. Sometimes I feel so bad about them, because I imagine them like going through personal stuff and having people being like, oh, you shouldn't be that emotional, or you shouldn't express this, you don't have to talk about this, you cannot say this, this is not correct. An idol doesn't do these things. An idol doesn't express those things. And this is why when I read for idols that I sense that they have like very emotional nature, I'm like, what are you doing in this industry? Like, really, like, what are you doing? Because you have to have a sort of level of like, okay, I have to hold um this how I'm feeling, to smile to the camera and pretend like I'm okay. And sometimes I'm not okay. So it's tough, and people judge pretty quickly. Uh, but judging is not. It's something that we all have. Like, because I remember when I started my training as a counselor, one of the many exercises that we had to do was to get rid or of preconceptions of a, a consultant or a client or a patient. You had to stop your mind for trying to figure out this personal story, or trying to be like, oh, he's sitting like this, so maybe he's like this, or he's looking at me like this, so maybe he is this way. Do not make assumption of your client. Let him tell you his story. Sometimes, and it happens in K-pop, that um yes, yes, it's like you have that picture, and you're like, oh, he's not smiling today, maybe there's something wrong with him. And I worry, and I make assumptions in my head, and I project. This is something that actually is why we try to find a reason behind body language. For example, I see a lot of fan cams about this, like, oh, he when he talked to the other member didn't look his way, and he just got out and left. And they are like, they don't like each other. And I'm like, did this is this the real thing, or is this how you are interpreting in based on an image? You don't know what happened before. Maybe this person wanted to go to the bathroom. I don't know. Like, he had a stomach ache. I don't know. And maybe they fight. Yes, maybe they just don't like each other. And we have, who actually has a loving and lovey-dovey relationship with their co-workers or with their family? No one. Like, you have those days. Yes, for you it must be like unacceptable that someone doesn't like your favorite. Of course, because for you that person represents something very loved and dear. So you are on this overprotective mode. Like, oh, I love my bias. So why did this person didn't greet him or didn't talk to him? Because he's so nice, he's so lovely. And it's like, you don't know the other person. You don't know them. And I think that probably one of the things is that we have too much footage, too much recording, too much cameras. People find every small action of theirs and meanings and giving evidence for them. Yes. And then we all look like a fool when things. And you get a bit dizzy. I got out of Twitter because of this. I am I'm actually now I'm a multi-fandom because I'm starting to stand all the groups that I've been reading for. So I consider myself a multi-fandom. I actually don't consider myself like an army because, like, I don't know, I just want to expand. I love it, yes, but I want to expand my level of supporting other groups as well. Um, Yes, I left Twitter, and I came back a few days ago, and I saw someone commenting and retweeting. I am a fan of The Boys. Actually, I became a fan of The Boys after Kingdom, and they started attacking the magnet, because actually the magnet Eric was the first one that tested positive on COVID. And then later, I think that other three members also got this this COVID, and they were like hating on Eric. Actually, they were like getting on Bubble, like paying to go and leave him a hateful message because of something so contagious as what we are going through right now globally. So guys, this is the thing. And I was like, I got so upset reading that I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I reading this? If it makes me feel so frustrated reading this, and if I engage, it's worst. So I'm like, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go put some music. I'm going to watch some content. I'm going to like. I sometimes watch the group's content of different groups, and I laugh so much. I laugh so much that I'm like, what am I doing reading to other people's opinion? If what I want to get is actually content and good music, like this is something that I think that is when you are too devoted to a group, or when you are in a fandom that requires a certain level of loyalty. This is what happens. You start like being very on the defensive about what others are going to say, what the group is going to publish, how they're going to say it, what other people are going to be reacting. So it's not about the music anymore, and it's not about, I don't know, you laughing and having fun, and yes, that was I think that one, Samara, that was one of um the healthiest decisions I made on 2021 to become a multi-fan. Like, so I don't have anyone telling me how to be a good fan, because I think that that's very disrespectful, to walking on eggshells about how to be a good fan, or how to having strangers telling you how to behave, what to think, what to support. You cannot even say like, oh, I don't like this, or maybe this song is not my favorite. Or you cannot even say like, oh, maybe this hairstyle of this guy, personally I didn't like it, but it's not that I'm saying that the person is not handsome. Of course they are. But like when you get attacked for saying how you feel, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ruling for the wrong people here, because instead of reacting um to the artist, I'm waiting for some random people, accounts, or whoever they are, approval. And to be honest, I'm not in high school anymore. So I mean, like, I don't know if I would have ever survived in this period of time being in high school, but it seems like you are in high school. Like, it seems like everything that you do is monitorized by someone. Yes, and I feel so sorry for the fourth generation. I did a reading for the fourth generation, and I talked about what I perceived in the cards, that they had to manage themselves in a way where they are going to lose their authenticity. And it's not because they don't want to be honest, it's because they can't. They are not allowed. They say, oh, I like this movie, or he's dating someone from that movie. Oh, I like this brand. Oh, yes, he's dating the it's a bit like, I don't know how to, I'm sorry, I don't know how to, and me as a grown-up, as a 30 something person, uh watching that, consuming that, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? And what happens is that when you are a very emotional and supportive person, you actually get triggered by these comments. It's like, so the best way is contact zero. You cut contact, you block accounts. This is the best way. There's no other way, because otherwise you will get affected. Yes, the dating rumors is, I would love to hear actually more about, I don't know, them talking about their ideal person, or them talking about what they find attractive. So people would stop making assumptions of their sexuality or things like that. Because I would love really K-pop idols to have this sort of, because it's not that they portray that they are children. Actually, they have sometimes very sexual concepts. They do have like they do exude this part of themselves. Yeah, yeah. I remember someone got really upset with me because I remember I did um, an astrology analysis of BTS, and when I talked about Mars in the signs, that Mars is in the sign of um yeah, it's heartbreaking. That's the word, heartbreaking. When you watch it from outside, you're like, oh my God, these people cannot even say I like this. Yes, and there was someone that actually was like, how can you? Because I think it was Jimin or JK, they had Mars in Scorpio. So I was talking that Mars, of course, represents the sexual energy, the action part of yourself, also the creativity. And since it's in a Scorpio, every Scorpio energy is not always about sexuality, but it's about being passionate and being very like straightforward and very intense about your desires, and not actually like being able to like, it's like you either feel something for someone or you don't. So I was like, I don't know exactly what she found offensive, but she was like, how can you say this? Like, what if they come across your video and they see what you are saying about them? And I was like, first, I don't think they all of them comprehend English, and not they. I don't think they will be able to comprehend my horrible English. Um, it's foreigners again, foreigners. Um, hi, Black Nina. And I was like, um, okay, so you got mad because I talked about an astrological placement that is Mars in Scorpio, that it had always been like this of Mars in Scorpio, and I love talking about Mars and Scorpio placements because I have a lot of them. So I feel like really like I love people to be able to connect with the energy and not to be afraid of it, because sometimes a Scorpio energy is so misunderstood and is so difficult and is so private at the same time, you know. So I wanted to share what I know about this, and she was like, "Oh, how can you say this? Because what if they? I feel ashamed. What if they found your content?" And I'm like, "Yes, my content and all your fanfics, videos of 18 and plus, fan edits, firsticams, like, because if you see, those videos have a tons of views. So we cannot play down here. I'm sure that there's a lot of people interested in sexuality, or in I don't know, in finding um yeah, like I don't understand. I was like, oh my God, I'm only talking about astrology, and Mars in Scorpio is not, and Mars as a sign is actually a placement that a lot of people have, because actually the passionate side of ourselves is something that we all have. The instinct side of ourselves is something that we all have. So yes, I understand that. Yes, I used BTS, of course, as an example, because maybe if I talk about a celebrity, for example, in my readings, and I believe that a lot of readers also do the same, if we take a popular subject as a K-pop idol or group, and we add these elements of astrology and tarot reading, maybe people, because of their love for them, can actually get a bit of content that they can apply to themselves as well. At least this is what I try to do. I try to get people to resonate with being intuitive and having a moment of, yes, you are listening to me talking about so and so, but at the end, I could potentially be talking about you as well. So this is sometimes why I do what I do, because I want people to not be afraid to dig deep into themselves, because we are all going through moments of a lot of stress, and like we were talking earlier, everything you say is wrong. There are a lot of people like making you feel guilty for thinking or having an opinion. So no, nothing happened. Actually, this is my first live, so this was a sort of trial, because first I didn't know how to turn this thing on. I know I had another. I did another one, but that one didn't work. Like I, so I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. But yes, we were talking about K-pop, and um, and the K-pop community in general, that it's the level of toxicity. This is why I think, like, if I can use tarot cards and idols, and very handsome and beautiful idols, females and males, and to talk a bit about them and to learn a bit about what their nature could be, and also entertain you a bit, get you off a bit of the drama. I think that and it's not actually about being dramatic, because I do follow people that have very strong opinions about K-pop, and also that use a lot of critical thinking, and I enjoy their videos. I do not find them offensive at all, because I am a grown person, so I have lived, I have experience, and I know that I am not the mindset of a follower. Maybe, like I mentioned, maybe when I was a teenager, I was a fangirl, and a very, like, when you get so blinded by the people that you follow or the artists that you admire. But maybe back then in the 90s, you didn't have access to all the information that we have right now. So to keep getting compared to the old ones would really hurt. Yes, yes. And what's funny is that actually people think that, oh, my favorite is more famous than you, and yours is like, why? This bullying, wait. Do you think this bullying culture will stop? I think in my reading that I did, um, I mentioned how I think that people will get worse, actually. Like, I don't like to be dramatic. We were talking about this. But I think that this obsessive behavior of some fans, quote unquote fans, is doesn't have a limit. someone is enabling these people. Someone is giving them free passes. Someone is letting them get away with a lot. So I don't think they're going to stop because they are too comfortable doing what they do. Yes. Yeah. And since we are talking about consumption and and getting you to get addicted to something to a level that you get so blinded, you know by by what's really going on, or you're like, maybe I'm buying too much albums, like maybe I'm spending money that I do not have on, you can support your idol because obviously this is their work, but not to the level where you have to like get to the extreme. And now that the K-pop industry has realized the power that they own, to the extent that they have older fans, they have older people, they have people like me that we are in our 30s, we are like consuming this, we are loving the boys, we are loving the girls. Um, I think that they saw the potential. They saw the potential. This is why probably in this fourth generation you will see a lot of more different mixes of races, of course, in K-pop, in a sense that you will have an English speaker, you will have like a German speaker, you will have the only thing that they need is a Spanish speaker, and we are okay. Like like they will secure K-pop forever in our hearts. Like, yeah, yeah. That's other thing. Like they are like, oh, because my favorite sold this amount of albums, and I'm like, great. I still like the other guys too. Like, like it's like some people say, K-pop is not that serious. I can like different songs, and yes, probably it's not Grammy nominated song, but I like it, and I play it while I'm doing the dishes, and I'm having fun. And I'm laughing because I'm trying to reproduce their dance moves and I look awful, but I'm doing it, and it also inspires me to move my body while I'm working at home or while I'm working, like, like doing my everyday routine. Actually, K-pop routines or choreographies can help you lose a lot of weight. They really like they in my case they connected me with the joy of, like, sport and anime community. Yes, yes, I know. Yes, you're right about that. Yes, yes. But you know that K-pop is slowly going that way. K-pop is like emulating, like it's slowly like, let's add a new genre, and K-pop is on the way. Yeah, I don't know. I just take from K-pop what they give me. Like if an idol smiles at me and promotes their song, it's like, yeah, it's their, what K-pop groups do you stand? um BTS, um the ones that I support all of them because I like all of them. And actually, since you had started to ask me for groups that I didn't know, I started checking out their music and their content, and I'm like, I'm liking these people. And I think I said this to someone, that actually I like, when I read for them, I get so connected emotionally with them that it makes me feel closer to them. So I somehow like them. If I didn't know them before, I start liking them. I start liking them. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I made the right decision to actually pay attention to people that, like, sometimes I'm like, will people like this if I talk about this person? Because I don't know if they are popular or not, but I try to include, like other artists, because I want to see like more people, like, like you having, and you had introduced me to so many groups that I'm like, wow. I actually have like a sort of a, I like them, I like them. And sometimes I feel very sad when I see, the rumors, the everything that happens around them. And not because I claim to know them and I'm like, oh, I'm going to defend them. No, like, it's like we were talking earlier. Nowadays, the internet is, it's a tough territory. So we never know. Just like we get a new music video, we can get also a news about something. So yeah, this is what I was saying. Like, enjoy what you have with your artist, and don't let anyone ruin that for you. Because what I think that it's awful. It's hmm yes, about the, yes, yes, they are very young. They're very young, but they see the potential. Yes, yes, Hippo. I feel the same. I used to be in army, but then when I came across a few people that, I actually have two best friends that are armies, and I love them. They keep me updated about BTS related things, the important things. I mean, not the delusional things, the important things, and I am truly thankful to that. Um, but I came across a few situations where there were people telling me how to be a fan, and how to, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't do this, you know you're wrong, you don't know them, and I'm like, wait, like, I'm like, wait, you don't even know me, like, you don't know, we don't know each other, like, I understand that. And this is something that I think that is about army, that I try to connect a lot with there's a beer chart actually for army, and actually army, it's a double Cancer. They are Cancer sun and Cancer moon. So they they definitely yeah, yeah, they, it's like they are very emotional. BTS means a lot to them. So this is why I don't want to judge their experiences with BTS, because actually when I came across BTS, I was going through also, like, my mom has had passed away a few months in February of 2018, and I came across the DNA video, the DNA, or I don't know if DNA of my drop. I think it was DNA, and I was like, "What's this?" And I got into the whole. I got hooked. So I understand that they help a lot of things, a lot of people go through stuff, and I think that when it comes to my experience of dealing with grief, I always, whenever I watched their videos, I was like, my mom would have loved to watch this with me, this kind of content, because actually when I was younger there was Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, all this anime content, and we used to watch it together. She loved Sailor Moon. So I think that in a way, if I connect with K-pop, it's because it's a way of connecting with my own um, childhood, with a side of myself that it's still like daydreaming or fantasizing, if you want, not in a I don't know how to say this, but to do a fetish of people. No, I'm not about that. But it's a way of, like consuming something that it's beautiful, and they really helped me. They really helped me. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one, and this is why they have so many followers. So, this is why sometimes I understand why they get so defensive, because for them, if maybe something happens to BTS, it's like a representation of themselves, and we tend to do this projection on others when we care so much. You don't know personally. Yeah, it's just that we are not the same. Sometimes we lose our critical thinking. Sometimes, especially when we feel vulnerable, when we are, yeah, surrounded by a lot of people that tell us how to live our lives. And yes, we have family, we have friends, we have partners, we have everything, but there's a void. There's a sense of, I'm surrounded by people, but I feel lonely. Or maybe I want to forget. I want to watch, yes, pretty boys and pretty girls dancing and jumping around. Yes, they make me laugh. They make me smile. But I also sense that sometimes the things got out of hand when it comes to probably like trying to impose your point of view on someone. Like, oh, I like this, so you have to like this as well. It's this sort of like, I don't know, I'm my own person. Like, I don't agree with you. I think that if you sense in any group, like, not only about K-pop, but if you are in an environment or surrounding where you cannot say that you don't agree with something, run. And that actually happens in a lot of relationships, in a lot of like dynamics. We don't often see it. But if you feel like, not as a boyfriend lover who gives me so much more from sometimes he helps me. Yeah, Cosmos. Yes, I understand. Yes, yes. Of course, we don't know them. We don't claim we know them. We don't claim we know these guys. We don't claim we are going to marry them. But just thinking about them, it makes us think. And you know that I totally agree that actually our biases, um, yeah. And that's, Marie, that's, um, I want to finish what I was saying first. Um, that definitely the biases are a representation of who we are. I definitely, I was like, why my, in my case, I was like, why my biases have like all these things in common. Especially they tend to have like a sort of the same sign, the same solar sign. They have to they probably, if I like main dancers, they are a main dancer as well. For example, I'm left-handed, and a lot of my biases are left-handed as well. So I think that yes, definitely they are a representation of myself, probably a part of me that actually I don't see it in myself, like probably I see attributes in my bias. I read a lot about this one with fans, especially the youngest. They are like, oh, I admire, or my bias is this person because he is everything that I'm not. And actually, that's not true. That's not true. Actually, you are your bias. It's just that you are not discovering it yet. You are seeing it on the outside, but it's a reflection of at least of what you want to be. So yes, you should pay attention to your bias. You shouldn't stalk your bias, but you should, if you have like, oh, I always wanted to learn how to dance and my bias is the best dancer. Well, there's an information for you. Like, do you still want to dance? There's still a part of you that you are still this main dancer in your head, and because of life and because of different decisions you never got to do it. Definitely there's a lot of information behind your bias. You are your bias. And probably, like I read um, on a site, I think it was a website, that it said that your bias record, it's actually your type, the type of person you would feel attracted to. So it's interesting. It's interesting. This is why I always think that use K-pop as a tool. Use it. This is why they do what they do, to inspire you. But don't put them on a pedestal, because they're people. They're people, and they're trying their best every day to follow the rules, to be perfect, to be youthful, to be beautiful, to be funny. They work on themselves every day. They go on diets, they do extreme things to entertain you. So whether, this is why I don't agree with people that they love to bring other groups down. It's like they are all talented because they all had the same training system in order to debut. No one is there because it's someone's son or it's someone's daughter. If you are not talented and you cannot keep up, there's no way you would be in the industry. Yes. And it's and that's I'm going to link it with the what someone was saying about that. They seem so disposable, in the sense that they work really hard from a certain period, and then eventually, like, something happens and some companies let go of their artists, or the artists just resign. They're like, we don't want anything to do with the company. We had our times. We did what we had to do. We produced. We gave what we had, and now we don't want to be part of the industry anymore. And yes, they do have like a sort of caducity, like, like, I hope not. I actually hope not, but I think that yeah. Yeah, there was someone actually telling me today that another ESPA member was also criticized for something that happened with China, and I don't know. I think that RM was also involved in that. He was also like accused, or people making assumptions of why he said, why he likes, why he shares, the typical. And I think that in her case was the same, and also another member, like. So it's, sometimes I'm like, do you? There's still people that want to continue this career, because it must be so exhausting. It must be so exhausting to have people that don't know you because the ones that criticize you is the ones that probably are more loose to say what they want to say about you, so I will cancel you because you blink an eye, and I don't like it when people do this, and this is why what happened with the with Lucas situation. I was I don't consider myself like a predictor, like but yes, Ning, it's like you cannot even be your own race. She didn't say anything offensive, but well, the internet, we were talking about that, the internet. What can we say? And yeah, sometimes I'm like, who are these people? And I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know, guys. I really hope, I don't know. I was saying what happened with Lucas. When I read for Lucas, I remember I didn't. Oh, thank you, Jessie. Um, I really didn't know much about NCT. I'm becoming an NCTian right now because I'm in love with Utah. So everything that has to do with NCT family, I love it. What happened with Lucas was I read for him. I didn't know much about it. I was a bit hesitant to do it. I was like, because I had read for Chris Wu once, and I swear that the energy was really heavy, really heavy. I had to, and there was someone that actually asked me to read again, and I'm like, I'm not going to read for the guy again. No, no. And it's my choice, of course, that I choose who I read for. But I was because of Lucas also. It's not the person, it's the subject that they are accused of. It's very consuming, but when I read for him the first time, I actually like got to read from the other person perspective, because it wasn't easy for me to read, actually, because how can I say this? Because she was this person. There were a lot of females, but there was one in particular that she definitely thought that she was indeed his partner, his girlfriend. She came in first, like in character, in the cards. I saw her first. So and I started reading, and I started like developing, as I got to Lucas' energy, and I was like, Lucas doesn't agree with this. Like when you are like turning your back from someone, you are not acknowledging that person existence, but you're trying to be polite, like keeping a distance. But this person was so emotionally invested in him that she actually made me believe that she was in a relationship with him. Not in a relationship, but that he had somehow promised her something emotionally or romantically. And actually, as I developed my reading, I was like, no, this is actually her desire. This is actually her desire. So this sometimes it happens in readings. When you read for people that are very fixated or are very obsessed, for example, the case of the sasangs and stuff, they always come in first place because they are so entitled that they take over the whole reading. They feel so empowered How do you protect yourself from? Yes, I try to say, like I showed you, I have my and I also use a lot of sounds. I have like crystal, like singing bowls, that I'm also going to use that a lot on my TikToks too, because if you connect with the sound, actually that the vibration of the sound can help you, like, get yourself grounded. It's just that, for me, this is why I think that actually I have been able to work with the cards, is because I consider myself a spiritual person, or like an intuitive person, but I also am a therapist, so I don't, it's like what I allow myself to do in this in the readings is sort of to empathize with what I'm reading for, without any judgment, without any preconceptions, like I mentioned, coming clean, like, let's forget about me, let's read for this person, you know and actually amazing interpretations come, actually, and sometimes this is why I get people that are like, oh, I want you to teach me how to read tarot, and I'm like, I cannot teach you, because actually, for me, yes, I can show you a card and be like, yes, this card represents this and this represents the other, and actually, like, you can find another tarot reader that finds another, like, different like different perception, different some I remember some people at the beginning of my channel, they were like, oh, that card doesn't, it was an oracle card, she was like, that card doesn't mean that, that card means, and she this person, like, wrote to me like a lot of paragraphs of, like, of what it meant from a book, and actually I had the book, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I have the book. I don't read from the book. I don't read keywords. Like, yes, a keyboard, this is a tarot, but a keyboard in oracles, it's in the cards for you to read it. Yes. I can be like, yes, this card talks to you about this. But what we connect with the reading, and what I'm seeing, is also a way of reading. Because you have to be able to connect with the tool. The tarot is a tool, it's a tool, so you have to put a willpower, you have to put of yourself to be able to read, so if I like, am like, oh no, the book said that this card meant this. No, don't go for the book. Follow your intuition, follow your perception, and you can be wrong and you can be right, but it's all practicing, it's like, uh, sometimes the cards do give you a lot of information, but the moment you stop to grab the book and be like, oh no, in page 35 they say that this card in this, it's like you are like rationalizing everything, you are like putting a lot of like a lot of, like, intellect into this, and no, it's like we mentioned, like, the cards, it's like they are there, they give you, their symbols, like, guide you to open up your perception. What does this card has, like, does this card mean to you? What is it saying? So do you have any questions, guys, since I have the tarot here, and I think I should, like, wrap up this in any minute, because it's an hour already of me just talking. Thank you, Mary. Oh, no, I talk too much. I talk too much. Sometimes I'm like, no, I should. When I start writing in the beginning of my readings, I'm like, I should stop. Like, I should stop. You know when, because I put myself in your shoes. Like, sometimes I read, sometimes I listen to podcasts, and I'm like, okay, yes, this is an introduction part. Yes, this is the part where this person tells me what they do and why they do what they do, and I want to hear, like, so I imagine people like fast forward things, like, come on, like, we want to know. Um, but yes, if you have a question about K-pop, please no shipping. Positive impact for the world in our communities. Makeup rising. Oh, what can we make in our inner world and in our communities? Let's go first with the what can we make the world for positive impact in our communities? The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, it's a card that actually talks to us about how society is evolving, in a sense that we are becoming a bit more prideful and a bit more like assertive when it comes to how we feel, and how we express ourselves and how we defend ourselves and our work and our value. Unfortunately, having such a strong influence and having such a strong character as the King of Wands is going to lead our society to go through periods of a lot of confrontation, probably, and a lot of different ideas and a lot of conflicts, because if you um if you um like if you are so defensor of your truth and how you want to achieve things and you want to be prideful and you want to show yourself to the world, you're going to meet some resistance out there. But I think that to be positive is to be yourself. Like, to be positive is to be honest and blunt. It's like, don't wait for others to give you permission to do what you have to do. Because if you wait for someone to give you permission, and especially this goes for females. This goes for females because this is a queen of one. So she's inviting us to be our own bosses. That somehow, because things are hard right now about work, and about a lot of things, probably we will have to like get more in touch in our individuality and also our independence, and be like, okay, what can I bring to the world? I have to be my own boss. I have to be my own creator, because no one else is going to come and save me. No one is going to come and save me. I need to be that boss. I need to be that female for myself. And I need to be standing proud and strong about that. The comments are running so fast. So I don't know. I read, I think, something about Capricorn risings. I'm going to make a video about Capricorn risings. I am a Capricorn rising. I am a Capricorn. And I'm going to read for Wono and then for Itis. Wait. But I'm going to talk to this person as well. I'm going to talk about Capricorn rising at some point. Yes. A lot of misinterpretation. Actually. A lot of misinterpretation about, actually, I don't feel, I have a lot of Capricorn energy, and I think that I am the nicest Capricorn, in the sense that I don't go around bossing people around, and I do have a lot of Scorpio energy as well, and I don't consider myself to be relentless, or to be like, oh, I'm the boss, I come here to rule everyone, or I'm not that ambitious. Like, I am ambitious, but what I'm saying is that I am not the Capricorn ambitious. Sorry, I can't just pop. I think that you should check more on your moon sign. Start from your moon sign, see what the information can get you, and then go for the Capricorn risings. Actually, the Capricorn rising dilemma is to be your own boss. And I'm talking a lot about bosses, I'm sorry. Because the ascendant is the first house, that is the house of Aries. So Aries is the fire sign. It has to do also with the Queen of Wands energy, is what I'm saying, power. But what I can tell you as a Capricorn rising, as a Capricorn, but I have Jupiter also there, so I'm a bit of a Sagittarius as well. But what I can tell you is that you have to be your own father. Capricorn represents the father. It's ruled by Saturn. So you have to be your own father. You have to be your own father. And in the case of the Capricorn, the Cancer rising, you have to be your own mother. But not for others, for yourself. Like, heal that need of, of like, oh, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. No, Capricorn, it's all about, we had all been in all souls, and we are very misunderstood. Very misunderstood. Oh, Capricorn moon as well. Capricorn moon, oh my God. Capricorn moon, it's like, I am a Capricorn, so I know that emotions are hard for me, but I do have emotions because I'm a Scorpio moon, so I am very emotional. But my Capricorn nature had always like limited me to be the good girl, the well-behaved girl, not so much like growing up, but more like as a child, a small child, being like the one that is well-behaved, the one that is really good at listening, at doing what they're told, and getting straight A's and stuff. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to read tarot, and I want to be an astrologer. I remember when I told my mom that I was interested in astrology. She looked at me, she was like, what? And she was a Scorpio herself, and she didn't get what? She didn't. But well, Capricorn energy, you can be your boss. You can be the leader of your life. You are going to be the leader. And also get used to, also Capricorn moon, get used to be put in situations and roles where you have to take care of others and lead others. Yes, it's exhausting. Yes, it's draining. Yes, you want to kill people. Yes, but no one else can do it but you. And the same happens with Cancer risings. The same. You are where sometimes you find these people that are very emotionally lost, and you somehow are this influence for them to move forward. Capricorn and Cancer are both cardinals, and they're both opposites to each other, but what they have in common, or they have in similarities, is that Capricorn, it's the father figure kind of energy, and Cancer, it's the mother figure kind of. So it's all about taking care, being responsible, so like his life. It's just that, sometimes what Capricorn has of as a I find that actually Capricorn males tend to run away a bit from responsibilities. Actually, I don't know why, but they sometimes depend so much on others. I don't know if maybe they are afraid of stepping into their power, but they tend to take a while for them to connect with, okay, I'm the one in charge here. Probably we females, we are a bit more like, yes, let's do what we gotta do. And we also are surrounded by people that need us to be in that role. because they cannot be the leaders themselves. So we have to step up. There's, you know, when you're like, there's no one else is going to do it, so I have to do it. Okay. Wono. Is it Wono or Wonho? I think it's Wono. Wono or Wonho? Wono or Wonho? Oh, I love double Sag. Oh, I love Sagittarius so much. I love Sagittarius. I actually am very blessed because I have Jupiter, that is the planet of Sagittarius in the first house. So I actually am very smiley because of this, of the Jupiter, of that Jupiter. I love Sagittarius. I wish I could borrow more Sagittarius energy. Oh, Won Ho. I love Sagittarius. I think that being a Sagittarius is like being free. You know, in the sense that be hopeful. Sometimes we Capricorn energy, we need that. You know, just don't take things too seriously. Just laugh. Just let it go. You know, let it go. Just, you know, it's like this. Okay, okay. Wonho. I'm so distressed because. Okay, I'm going to say Wonho, but we know who he is. He gets the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands is something that is coming very fast and it's coming towards him. So this could be like a news, like something new, but it's something that is going to come very abruptly into his life. So probably is like a sort of like news or probably you will hear something from him. Has he enlisted already? I don't think it's about enlistment. Oh, because this is coming really fast, like a news. Let's pull out another one. Oh, the Chariot. So a lot of advances. He definitely is moving towards something. So probably he is working on something. He probably is working on something that is very emotional. It's very fulfilling for him. Probably like very important as well. And he's very invested emotionally into this. And I think that he's a bit excited because he wants to share this with the fans. Yes, it can be a comeback, yes. Because it has to do with emotions and inspiration. Yes, but he's really excited. Probably this is going to come out really soon because he's like, I want to tell people right away. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm glad to see action, but because sometimes people ask me for comebacks and for other artists comeback, and I would love to tell you all that they will all get their comebacks, but sometimes for these idols, the famous and the nugus, they all have to struggle so much to get the opportunity. It's not that easy. Okay, let's go with 80s. I'm an 18. You know, when you asked me what my favorite groups are, I was about to say 80s. 80s. Okay, I did a reading on Lucas actually. Lucas for his birthday. But yes, we can pull a card for him. You're welcome. Oh, BTS Teen Military. Oh, Diana, I'm going to share with you what I read for BTS, like on a like a reading that I did for my army friends. That I'm going to talk about that because it has to do with the military enlistment. 80s, the sun. So yes, they will keep on shining. They will keep on shining. These guys are very lucky. They have each other. they they are going to get the opportunities that they deserve. So I really wish them the best, because I think that last year, I read constantly for them last year, and I saw a few of them, especially the leader, Conjung. I saw his energy a bit low. It's just that, well, he is a bit like he wants to aim higher. He is very like he wants a lot of things. So definitely, probably last year he wanted something, some kind of recognition that they didn't get, but this year they're going to get it, and they also are going to be able to have fun, doing what they do. No stress, no demanding, no like, oh, and you know, yeah, they are great guys. They are great guys, and it's not because I stand them, but updates on taming. Can you see how he's doing? It's just that I did a reading on taming, and the one I shared, I don't want to get too close to his energy, because I know he's a bit low, but one card is not going to hurt. So let's go with Lucas. I'm going to pull one for taming. Lucas got the Two of Swords. So definitely he has a decision to make. And it's interesting, because remember he posted a picture of the sea, and if you look at this picture, we have the sea behind. Hi. So I think he has to make a decision. It's just that I think he shouldn't get. He is okay, like I mentioned, that he is on the hiatus, and that he's much more comfortable now, like being on a hiatus. I think he shouldn't precipitate himself. Things are going to work out at the end. He shouldn't let people force him to take decisions that he's not ready to take. And he shouldn't be dramatic at the same time. He should stay calm. I know it's not easy, probably. I don't think he's going crazy, because actually I saw that he's like already like, like he made he's happy. I won't say happy, but he's like, okay, I have to wait, I will wait. But I think that there are a lot of people in there that actually they want to influence him somehow, to make him lose his patience. But I don't think he should. I think he should stay calm, like that sea, like that sea that we saw in the picture. He should stay calm. He shouldn't let others like influence his mood, and he shouldn't take decisions yet. He's going to be okay. It's just that I don't know if maybe he has a lot of people talking to him, like one says one thing, the other says one thing. So he is like, he doesn't know who to trust. He doesn't know who to listen to. So he's like, like the picture that I saw you, that the Two of Swords, that is someone blindfolded with their arms, with their arms like this, that definitely he's tight, he's like, Should I stay? Should I go? What do I do? What do I do? He shouldn't. He shouldn't because he doesn't feel comfortable. So he shouldn't. And it's not about making a decision. It's more about what to think of the situation. I think that he's doing great trying to practice patience. You know, he's a Moon in Taurus. So he should connect with his Moon in Taurus and like stay still, be patient. Your moment will come. Your moment will come. And I understand. I understand that it must be suffocating. And if I'm sure that he definitely reads what the fans say. So he probably is also like, oh, there are people waiting for me. You know, I think that he's more worried about the others, the fans, than himself. I hope that after what happened with him, they start thinking twice before doing these sort of accusations, because look what they did. Okay, Tammy. What is it about SM artists that I feel so uncomfortable in my body? I swear, I feel like Tammy. 5 of Pentacles. Taming is still in this sort of like a state where you don't feel like you are good enough. Oh, I'm going to post BB Star reading today, so wait for it, please. Taming is in this. He feels so unworthy, so low in his self-esteem. He needs help. You know, I don't know. Yeah, Rain probably is that. Yes, a lot of attention. Like I get really like uncomfortable, like in my own body. You know, I feel like heavy, like something, like I'm carrying something on my back. Do people do spells on famous? Because I remember that someone asked me actually in a TikTok. I was talking that I was mentioning that I do tarot readings for K-pop artists, and they were like, "Oh, but if you read for them, you affect them, or do you send your energies to them?" And I'm like, "No, because they don't know me." Like, like I don't do that, and also because this is why I always say take tarot readings with a grain of salt, because tarot readings, you know, I'm reading for a public figure, so we know. But there's something about Lucas, like, I'm sorry, I'm reading for Tenny, but there's a lot of heavy energy about Lucas. Oh, I don't know if he had like a crazy ex or someone that did something on him energetically, because I swear I feel so heavy. I feel so heavy. You know, but you know, I always say this. I don't believe in witches. I don't believe. Oh yes, I will take one for Juno. Um, but I think these guys should be much more protected. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, because and the same with taming. Taming definitely got like very like, you know, heavy card, in the sense that this card, it's about you feeling like you are poor, like you don't have what it takes, and this is about low self-esteem, and you feeling like you are a failure, you know. So probably he does feel a bit sad because of the circumstances that happened. He probably feels a bit like, I don't know, like he feels like he's not worth it. and he feels very poor. Like this doesn't have to do with money and status. This has to do that it doesn't matter what he has around him. He feels a bit lost. But like I always mention, this is today. This is why, I said I don't want to read for people that are in hiatus, because they are struggling, and sometimes they do get tired of being in hiatus. They do get tired of being in the mood that they are, because we don't know the circumstances. They can be having a bad day because something happened, and this doesn't represent how he is or how he's going to be. This is a card of the day. So probably he's feeling like a bit sad, like when things are not happening the way you want to, and you're like, my God, when is this going to pass? When is this going to pass? Because I don't feel so good about myself. Probably it's because he didn't want fans to find out about this. He wanted to cover this somehow. But yes, he needs others. This is something about Temi that he definitely needs of others. He's a double Cancer. He's very emotional. He needs his people. He needs his tribe. He needs his community. He needs his family. But Temi has a lot of emotional needs that hasn't been met ever. And these things are not going to get filled with money and fame. He has emotional needs. He has a void. There's like, I want some warmth in my life. I want people. I want hugs. I want warmth. I want caresses. I want I love yous. I want smiles. I want to feel loved. This is why he feels so poor. This is why he feels so poor. Because it's not about money. It's not about money. It's not about his career. His career is going to be great. This guy, he needs physical contact. I don't know how to say this. He needs physical contact. He needs not the typical words of, oh, you're great, we admire you, you are amazing. No. It's like, be here with me. Hold me. Be my support. Not of my career and of my image, of me. Oh my God. Okay, who was next? Juno. Juno. Oh yes, I will read. Tixi. Wait. Juno is going slowly but steady. Juno is a moon in Capricorn all the way. This guy is all about business. This guy is all about making plans, he is working on something. Do you know if he will ever get his own company? Because I see him like doing some deals. He is a business person. He is a business person, and he's so proud of being in this position. I think that this is the one idol that actually don't see that he regrets any decision in his career or life ever. He feels so good about being who he is and where he is. He's so proud of himself. And I remember that we talked about this when I read for him when he was in hiatus. Remember those times? My God, and another very stressful moment with the NSM artist when he was in this sort of like long-term hiatus, and we didn't know anything about him. I think that actually what kept him sane is this sort of consistency and this determination to be like, I know I'm good at this, so I'm going to wait for my opportunity to come back. And I'm loving this for him. This is going to be great. This is going to be great for him. Because he doesn't take things seriously. Not seriously. Like, he doesn't give an emotional component to what happens to his career or his public perception. You know, he's a business person. This is something that is very moon in Capricorn, actually, to be very professional and a bit cold and detached, but at the same time it's like, I'm good on my job, and I know that I'm getting paid, and I have all this trajectory because I had worked I had worked all my life. And you don't owe me anything, I don't owe you anything. Like, I know I'm here because I'm determined and I'm good what I do. And I'm also consistent. And I didn't give up when I could have give up. I didn't. I'm staying here. So he's probably waiting for some kind of compensation. I think there's a reason why he's still in SM. He's like waiting for, this guy is going to be his own boss really soon, and I don't know if he's going to take a few artists of SM with him or something is going to happen. Okay, Lino, then TXC. Lino, my bias. Oh, 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands, a lot of success, a lot of victory, recognition. Actually, Lino is becoming very loved and appreciated in the industry. I think that people actually didn't know much about him. Actually, they ignored him a bit. They didn't know. They knew that he was part of a very successful group, but he didn't stand out actually. And now he's like collecting a lot of hearts and a lot of admiration. So I'm loving Lino. I'm loving this for Lino because he deserves it. The way he carried Kingdom with all the other members. But let's not forget that he had to fill a void, he had to fill an absence, and he did it amazing. Amazing. So yes, he's finally connecting with his power. And I think that it even startles him. You know, he's like, oh my god, they want me? Like, they really want me? Like, I'm not that special. Yes, you are special. You have a lot of potential. So stop, like, putting yourself for less. Right. I love it for you. TXT. And then I'm going to go to the young and I'm going to finish it here, guys, because I'm already exhausted and I still have to upload the reading for... Oh my god, why this group left my mind. BBs, thank you. BBs, thank you. Thank you. TXT. Oh, BTS military. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I don't have cards in reverse, but this one came in reverse. So, TXT. Well, TXT actually is... I think that this year is going to be of a lot of patience for them. I think that TXT actually, they're going to have to step up their competitivity in a sense that they will probably have to, like, be a bit more aggressive and assertive about what they want to do with their careers, because I think that probably Hive or whoever these people are focusing their energies and their attention on some other group or projects or whatever they're doing. And I think that that they are realizing that, you know, they're realizing that probably if they ask for things or if they ask for something for themselves, things are going to take a bit longer. So yes, like things are not going to happen that fast when it comes to changes for them, but they will eventually. It's just that it's going to take a while. It's going to be slow, and they will have to get like they will do well, like individually. They will have their projects, but when it comes to what they want to, you know, probably like stepping into a new cycle when it comes to music and the group, probably is going to take slowly, like things are going to be a bit blocked. Who was it please guys, let me know who was it next. Oh, I dropped the cards. um who was next? Taeyong. Taeyong. Taeyong, the high priestess. Taeyong is a high priestess. She is a Pisces, so I think that this suits her very well. In a sense, yes, I'm going to do a reading for 10. Yes, I love 10. I'm going to read for him next week, coming slowly to his birthday. Yes, I still have the Pisces season to do. But yes, bear with me. Yes, Taeyeon, it's a priestess. She definitely has a lot of wisdom to share with others. I think that probably she is in this role, and she's going to be in this role this year, you know, about, you know, like sharing what she knows with others, especially the females around her. She definitely is the beholder of a lot of secrets as well, so, you know, probably she will be able to share a few secrets and also be a bit of magic, and also coming with a lot of like, you know, with a lot of advices for the girls, because I think that she has a lot of wisdom, and she's like, no, let's not panic, girls. Let's focus on our energy and on our power, and let's not, you know, like, let's not panic. We have the power. We are females. We are the queens of our destiny. So as long as we have each other, we're going to be okay. You know, like, she's a great protector of the female energy as well. So yes, about BTS, actually, the cards that came out actually for BTS was that they had the potential to actually choose what they want to do. So what happened when I read for BTS and the military is that they have and they will have this year the potential to choose what they want to do. They have so much power, so much influence, that it's not up to anyone else's. It's not like they're going to wait, you know, like patiently, like, okay, like I'm going to wait for someone to confirm if I have to go or not. I think that probably they will be able to actually do it, in the sense that I don't think they are going to, I don't want to say that they're going to go, but here's the thing. And I'm looking at my both sides, because I have my cat that wants to leave the room and she doesn't know how to climb the window. So if you bear with me, I'm going to actually let her out if you have patience. So wait for me a second. I'm here. Sorry guys, it's just that my cat has her diva moments where she needs my help and my attention. Okay, so what I was saying with BTS is that we have a different divided opinions among the members about, there are some that are like, I want to go, You know, there I don't know. There are some of them that is like, I want to go because actually, like, I wouldn't mind going. Like, you know, like this very, like, mainly, probably is the human line, you know, very mainly kind of mindset, you know, very like, okay, we have to do what we have to do, and, you know, and do our best, and this is what it's, you know. And yes, yes, I will renew it, yes. And then we have the others that are actually a bit worried about the idea, that are a bit emotional, probably the Magdalene, you know, that they feel a bit emotional about going, you know, about, oh, but what about my life, or what about the people my family, my loved ones, my house, my, you know, my security, my, you know, it mustn't be like an easy tran- transition. You know, there probably they know a bit of the details. Um, so I don't know. I don't think they're going. Honestly, I think that it's not actually that. It's not about them. It's they have the potential to actually say yes or no. But I think that it's not about, I think that people wouldn't mind if they go or if they don't go, you know, like if they, because everyone is like, oh yes, but Koreans are very rigid about, if you go, you know, and actually I think that the audience is so used to um like having that conversation year after year that they're like, is BTS related? You know, let's resolve them, you know, like yeah, yeah, me too. And one, I think that definitely this is the last year to make the decision. Obviously, I don't think that by the end of the year they will definitely have to make the decision. And honestly, if they go, I would, like, at least from what I got in the cards, they could possibly go together. Because I see that there's a few of them that have a sort of emotional attachment to, they fear going alone. And this is not, you know, because I know that people, because of what happened to Taemin and on and other rumors, they were like, no, because they treat the idols, you know, they are very harsh on the idols, on the military. And honestly, I don't know about that. When I read for Taemin, I didn't see any kind of bullying nor intimidation towards his person nor his security. So and this is BTS that we're talking about, honestly. But I think that it's from the more emotional guys that are worried. I think that it has to do that they actually need to be together. They need to have each other. There's a sense of, I need you to do this with me because you are like this sort of brother. You know, we are a brotherhood. So I don't think that actually BTS is the kind of guys that are going to be like, oh no, because this is, I don't like the setting, I don't like where I'm staying. No, it's not about the material things. It's more about what we are going to miss if we are not together, something like that. But honestly, I don't think they will go. I think that when the time comes, something magically is going to happen, that of course that it has to be very magically because it has to distract people from what is going on, you know, so people don't get to, you know, like, oh, what did you do there? Did you change a law? Did you, yeah. So yes, and also I think that they bring so much to their society, and to, it's a worldly thing right now. This is what I said when I read for BTS. BTS is no longer a group of musicians or artists. They are like these sort of ambassadors. You know, they have a lot of even political influence. And I know that they are not aiming for that, but they have this sort of image, and they are these sort of mentors, and they are setting a sort of like precedence, so yeah, I don't see them actually going, honestly. I mean, I mean, like I tried to see if there was a possibility, and I was like, no, because if if I saw that they have the power to decide whether to go or not. So if they have that level of influence, it's because they don't need to go. So, and I'm happy for them. I just think that it would be a waste of, I don't know, artistry or influence. For example, look what happened with Taemin. Taemin is an artist. Definitely sending him to the military, he's an artist. He's a dancer. He is an entertainer. Like, would you send this guy that has so much good artistic value to a place like that? Like, I don't know, but well, like we always say, we are not Korean, we are not going to, no. But you have, for example, you can be a K-pop idol, and you can be a dancer, a singer, you can write your own songs and actually have the physical and your own stamina and your own presence that is like, I can endure the military. Like, yes, send me, I will go, and I will do all the tasks. I don't care. You have a lot of like very masculine, sort of artists that they are like, okay, yes, like I've been training all my life. Like, going to the military is not going to be very different. But then it's, oh my god. Yes. That's when we say that we actually don't know much about the reason, the why they do what they do. We are so far away from them. We don't know what it's like to be at war. So that's, cards cards keep coming out. Did I miss any questions? This was supposed to be a rehearsal. This wasn't supposed to last almost 2 hours. But you know me, I like to chat and you like to listen to me. Oh my god. I made a TikTok account for my videos to promote them, and I have 7 followers. I feel so lonely there. Ah, I feel so lonely in TikTok. I'm like, oh my god, I'm such a loser. I have 7 followers. It's not that I'm actually uploading something like interesting in K-pop. I'm just like letting people know that. Um, okay, yes, on Ning. I'm kind of like just like posting the thumbnails of my readings, so people can know that I'm reading for these people. Oh, Ning Ning also got this card, the Five of Pentacles. Again, this is what I mean when I talk about these rumors and people talking and people accusing and people being harsh on this artist, is that you affect their self-esteem. They definitely feel a sort of like they are not good enough. They feel attack on their own person. They are like, oh, I don't do anything right. Oh, I cause trouble. They sort of like enter in this cycle of feeling really guilty. Like, like when you are always like thinking like, why did I say this, or I shouldn't say this, and I think that when I read for I believe it was Karina or Giselle. I don't know. No, I read for all of them, and the card of anxiety came out. The oracle, the card of the oracle was anxiety. That it meant that definitely it's you know they could let go of the issue and be like, okay, I know what I said. I don't feel guilty. But these females are so sensitive that they definitely feel really guilty. When you have people that actually, when you make a mistake, there are people that just are like, oh yes, I messed up, okay, tomorrow is going to be a brand new day. And then you have people that cannot stop thinking about it, that is constantly on your mind, like, I shouldn't have said this, or and replaying the situation over and over, like, I should have said this, maybe I shouldn't have, and obsessing over it. And I think that she's a Scorpio as well. I think that she is. I don't remember now, but I think that she is a Scorpio. And yes, it has to do with that also, with that level of you reproducing that sour moment in your head, and it's not actually about what people are saying or people like accusing her. It's more about herself accusing herself. I mean, like pointing the mistake at herself over and over and over. I mean, like, oh, maybe I should have said this. Oh, maybe I should, you know. But yes, it's just a moment. It's just a period, guys. It's just a period. Don't worry about her. They are going to get out of this. Unfortunately, they shouldn't go through this, but it will come a moment where the idols will lose their identity, will lose their desire to say anything out loud, because everything gets criticized. They will be, I was thinking, like, maybe for fans it would be easier to buy an hologram of their artist, because, and so you can, like, download a sort of guidelines of what you want them to say, because what they do to these people, it's awful, and I think that it has to do, when we mention about the internet, about random people judging you for as if they know you. They don't know you. They don't know that there's no context behind their accusations. Like, I don't know. No, they just based on, I don't know, wrong timing. I don't know. Like, and if you support or defend, you also get stuck in this vicious circle of, oh, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. And they're going to be okay. And I think that you also need to take into consideration that they have some kind of training into enduring this kind of pressure. They can get out of it. It's just that it's normal that she feels a bit troubled within herself, that she feels a bit like, when you made a mistake and you cannot stop thinking about it. I know I have those moments where I'm like, why did I say that? Or I'm like, maybe if I should have done this, this wouldn't happen, and it all replays in my mind. And there's no point in doing that, because what's past is past. Okay, I'm reading someone that says his song of Enhypen, so I'm going to pull a card for him, and then I'm going to go. His song. Oh, the Devil card in reverse. The Devil card in reverse. I'm sorry that I dropped it, like, this guy actually is repressing his emotions very much. I don't know, does he have like an earth moon sign? He is repressing his emotions. He's like not being true to himself. I think that probably there's a lot of moments of conflict, of a lot of things where he just wants to, yes, he's a Libra, yes. Yes. Um, winging. Okay. Um, um, I think that he's on. Yes, there's something about being a Libra that it's like he wants to be diplomatic, but there's a sort of another layer to him where actually I don't know if he has like mixed emotions or he's angry about something, but there's something that he's holding really tight inside of him that I think that trying to be diplomatic or trying to act like it doesn't affect him is not healthy for him. I think that he should, I don't know if he always tries to do the right thing or he always wants to be a good example or he always wants to be the nice guy, but there's a sense of there's something inside of himself. There's an inner desire that needs to come out. And if he doesn't speak the truth or if he doesn't like um oh yes Cosmos. Yes, I use it. Um so if he doesn't like connect with his instincts, he's going to be really unhappy. There's something about his current situation that he's not really happy about. And I don't know if it's that probably he is a bit more ambitious and he wants to have like a different spotlight, a different concept or something. But I think like, oh yes, Virgo moon, yes. He's repressing so much of himself to be this sort of perfect person. And he wants the others to be perfect as well. He's like, he doesn't allow any kind of mistake. He's like trying to control everything. He's like, he's like, I got you. Like, like, and I think that that's very draining because actually he needs to let go of control because he's not perfect. And yes, he is in a industry that demands perfection, but I think that it's actually not healthy about this is that while he's trying to be perfect, is that he probably looks at the others and he compares himself, and he's like, oh, I'm so much more professional than the others because I actually don't give in to temptation, for example, or don't give in to, I don't know, having spare time or not practicing. I am very diligent. I'm a hardworking person and the others are not. Something like that. It's like he's so perfectionist that he wants everyone to be at his level. And at the same time, he's like constantly looking what the others are doing. So this is why probably in his interactions with the others, it doesn't seem very transparent or fluent because it seems like he's always like looking about the shoulder, like, are you going to make a mistake? You did a mistake there. I saw you. Something like that, always pointing with the finger, always finding something to, and I think that that's an energy that is not, it shouldn't be for someone so young, it's so like, no. A win-win. Another Scorpio win-win. I don't know, I don't remember his moon sign, but he's a Scorpio. He's someone that also gives me this vibe that he is very blunt in a sense that he doesn't, oh wait, does he realize he's in a group with children? Oh, Subin, but I read for TXT. Subin is included in TXT. Three of Wands for Win-Win. Win-Win is about to make a decision. He's also someone that is looking at the horizon. He's like, I want to work. Like, give me something to work with because I'm already packing my bags. Like, I want to work. Like, I'm a man of action. I'm a man of fiction. I need work. I need activities. Like, what does anyone know what's going on with Win where he is or what he's doing, because he's like, he just finished a drama. Yes. And he's getting offers as well. I think he's already. How do you save a life, Lindsay? I don't know. Does anyone know? I'm sorry, it's my first live. I don't know it. He's like, yes, yes. He does give me like old people vibe, you know. Upload as a video. Ah, okay, okay. Um, yes, I think that a win-win is definitely like, he's like, whether you give me work, or I mean, I'm saying action because it's a car of wands, but it means that he's already looking at the horizon, and or probably people are offering things to him. And yes, and he's going to be busy as well. Yes. He's a guy that he's looking ahead at his future. So I don't know if he wants to make some kind of financial move or something, but okay. He's like, like he's not wasting time. Win-win is like in this sort of endeavor where he's focused on, okay, I want to do as many things as I can, and no one is going to stop me because I am a visionary. So my mind is always one step ahead. I'm not resting, and he's a sort of person. This guy would be really good at soloist, because he is a visionary in the sense that he doesn't look at what others are doing or not doing. He focuses on himself, and he works towards like improving himself. I wouldn't say he's an individualist, but he is the kind of person that probably he's not interested in gossips or what's going. He's not a teamwork people, because it seems like his essence gets lost in a group. Because he doesn't like to be the center of attention, but if you focus on him, you will see how determined and magnetic he is, and how powerful he is, because he's like very controlled. He's very like, um yes, I think that this guy is definitely very driven. He wants results. He doesn't want to. I think that he's also not very patient. While people are fighting for things in the now, in his mind, he's already like trying to plan for the next 3 months, for example. And he's a guy that he doesn't mind moving or transporting, like, so since yeah, he's thinking about money also. He's no fool. He knows he puts the effort. He knows he's good. So who was the other one? Did we say Subin? I said that he's included in TXT, but let's see Subin, just because we love Subin here. Oh, is Subin in a relationship with someone? Or he's about to work with a female again? Sorry, I don't want to cover the mic. Subin needs loving. Oh, yes. Subin is what's funny about Subin is that I actually don't see him pursuing anyone. I see all the ladies coming to him. So it's just that he's so cute. Yes, he does have. He's romantic as well. It's just that he's evasive. He's not that easy to catch. Actually, you need like a very, um, like, persistent female, a sort of a bit bossy. not so bossy, but a bit like that can guide him actually, because the ladies love soothing. They love soothing, but probably this is also him working with another female. Again, it could be an MC or another production where he has to have a sort of synastry with a female, with the opposite sex, and they have to use this factor of chemistry, because this is something that sometimes I don't know how to make people that watches K-drama to make people understand that if we read two co-stars, of course there's going to be a level of correspondency because they have to pretend that they like, that they love each other, that they are happy around each other, that they are all over each other, and that's not the reality, that's work. So I think that there's something about Sudin's image that he definitely seems he sells really well his image of a romantic or a gentleman, so he would probably have like more activities with the opposite sex, or in a sort of very close interaction where you will sort of be sold that he has feelings for that person or that they have a good chemistry, so you will be like, maybe they are dating because they are looking at each other straight in the eyes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's my moon in Scorpio being sarcastic. But I don't know. Okay, let's do Kai list. And I did Kai. I did Kai. In the future about first generation. Yes. Yes. I can. Yes. Thank you for recommending me. Yes. I don't think I read for first generation. Did I? I think I read for members, but I don't know. Okay, Kai. Kai. Oh, Kai. Kai. Kai is a Capricorn like me. Actually, his birthday is one day before me. But Kai is such a moon in Aquarius in the sense that he is a wild soul. He's a free spirit person. Um, and he's also setting himself free from a lot of expectation of others. You're going to see a lot of honesty coming from Kai this year. He's going to be more himself. And I think that this is very important because actually I think that his identity had always been tied to the group, as it should be because he is part of a group. But I think that he's slowly like being able to be his weird self. I don't know. I don't know, like, I don't know how to say this because I don't mean that Kai is weird. I mean that he is very original and that probably he had been carrying this label of this hot, sexy guy dancer. And actually, he is much more goofy and laid back, and so, the kind of person that you can actually relate to because of how fresh his personality is. And he's not like that typical guy that goes posing every corner, looking like he thinks he's all that. Actually, he's very, very like down to earth, and he is very like yes, like Aquarius Mumbai, goofy and comedian. Exactly. Like for me to see Kai as a sexy guy, like yes, his dance moves are sexy. The clothes that they make him wear are excessive. The body oil, like, but I think that I don't see him as a sexual person. I see that he's much more of a body vibe, like in the sense that he could be your guy friend, like your male friend. He can be like that guy that you can confess all your fears and laugh about it with him. That he makes you forget and not to take things so seriously. So I think that he wants to be seen as this sort of free spirit person. And also he wants to be free. I don't know if maybe they had used images for, they had put labels on Kai that actually I think that never actually truly represented who he is. And now he's slowly like coming out of the shell and allowing himself to show his true nature, like, oh yes, like I don't consider myself of that. I'm not egotistic, I'm not obsessed about my image. Like, yes, I can be unpredictable. Yes, I can make a fool of myself. I think that he's a free soul. Yes, yes, but they used Kai's image for a lot. Because the Fool card, it's also a card that talks about you finally being able to set yourself free. So I don't know if this talks about him finally like letting go a bit of SM's control. That he's slowly like removing himself from SM's control. Because actually they want to give him this sort of like F-boy kind of image, and he's actually like, I think that Kai is the, the type of person that he is just like, if you tell him like, oh, there's someone that has a crush on you, that he would be like, oh, me? Why me? Who? Like, like really really clueless about his power of attraction, I don't know, or about what he makes the other people feel, and I also feel that this is why sometimes he has connections with females that are so strong, or so like they have this sort of reputation of being these ice queens, or this very strong Scorpio energy, and it's because I think that these females are interested in this sort of like, oh, he's not obsessed with me, he's not looking at me from across the corner like a creep. Actually, he looks very disinterested in me, and I'm curious about that. Like, why isn't he pursuing me? These are females that they have like, they are used to having male energy around them, constantly like getting invitations. And then you have Kai, that Kai is like, probably if he gets close to you, is as a friend or as an acquaintances, or in a very laid back manner, like not trying to act seductive and, like being all flirty with you, he probably is sucks at flirting. I don't know why. I'm sorry, guys. I love Kai, but I just don't see him like. I feel like he probably is a guy that he he's a bit awkward. I think that the subjects of his conversations probably are about aliens and existential crisis or something like that. Not very romantic. But oh well, this is my perception. It's not who he is. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. Okay, guys, I'm going to go because I need to rest. And I'm going to also upload the BB's tarot reading in a few hours, so please give much love to that. And I want to thank you to all of you. Actually, I'm really happy, like 15 people are here, like until now. And I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. And also, yes, I think that I will do this every Sunday. So yes, so we can talk, so save your answer, save your questions. Probably if during the week you have like a topic that you want to discuss, or you have like an experience of your own that you don't mind sharing, or something that you want to ask the tarot. So yeah, so let's keep like let's keep this very private. Let's keep this as a way to reunite and being with each other. And yes, I hope that you enjoyed it. So thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you.